Time to rise and grind.
Yeah, they said the grave was the end, now that's where we start. Every beat in my chest got that glow to dark heart. Shadows move different when the
Frenchy, we're here today into the Web3Verse with Snorkel, chatting with Frenchy, getting to know Snorkel and you a little bit better. Obviously, we've had you on Spaces, and we have some collabs with the Solana Deads. Thank you for being a community and collab member with us, and happy to have you today. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing, Crypto Stoners. Good to be here. Thanks again for the invite. I've been enjoying swimming alongside the Solana Deads and collaborating in the Web3 space. And, it feels like home. So glad we could chat and talk a little bit more, dive in a little bit deeper.
Yeah, and I'm excited to share what you guys are building with everyone and people to get to hear Frenchy. And I know that you were running around today and busy, so you're on the phone with us today. But in the future, we'll have Frenchy also here with us in person, the visual. And but it's going to be really cool as we're entering the bull cycle right now. We're getting into bull season. October Q4 is shaping up. I do TA, so I've been talking about how this is the rubber band pullback before we really send off here into Q4 and see that bull run. So with that, being a part of a newer network, a layer one SUI, which is one of my favorite new networks this cycle, that and SEI, so SUI, SUI, and SEI, two of my favorites. Because they're both doing very different things. But for you guys, for Snorkel, and I know you guys have been around for a little bit, how is this cycle currently, and how has it been getting into this layer one in between bull runs? And what are you guys doing as you anticipate this Q4 uptick in overall market? And who is Snorkel? What is Snorkel?
A lot of great questions there. I'll start with who is Snorkel. Snorkel is the coldest fish breathing. He's a fish with a snorkel, obviously, and he kind of just vibrates at a different, he's on a different vibration than other fish, than other memes. So obviously he has a lot of misadventures. The way that he views things are a little bit different. It's a little bit unique. He's got a unique perspective, and that kind of allows him to, maneuver through different situations in a way that you wouldn't expect. But building on SUI has been amazing. It's been amazing thus far. It started out as a challenge, obviously, as most things do when it comes to launching a project. So it took a lot of learning, and we're still learning, which is great. We love that aspect of SUI. We love watching, the ecosystem grow, seeing all these great builders around us and, using them as inspiration for how we plan to scale our project up.
I love that. When did you guys launch the token?
So initially, the first Snorkel meme was launched in November. And it was originally launched on hop.fun, which is no longer a meme coin launch pad. I think the team behind Hop Aggregator actually ended up pivoting back to just, swaps, right? Rather than just being a launch pad as well. So that was definitely our first big challenge that we had to face out of the gate. After that, we decided to relaunch in January on Move Pump, just to keep the meme alive. We wanted to, we took time to kind of level everything up, right? With new animation, kind of a newer art scheme. And that's when we kind of started creating those kind of like GIF. So the GIF lore of Snorkel, of the Snorkel fish. And ever since then, we kind of just decided that we would have to think bigger. We had to think bigger. We wanted to do more with the meme. It was such an amazing meme that, you know, in terms of what could be done with it, we could go in any direction. And, you know, we're currently in the process of exploring all of those directions. So it's definitely been, a long time coming. It's been a large learning experience, but it's been fun. It's definitely been fun.
Love that. And, you know, I'm excited. We have a mint party this evening with you guys, Solana and Dead, Snorkel, get to be on space, minting together. So, you know, we see what you guys are doing and you know, obviously Levels and Rogue and the rest of the team. We see what you're doing and we're happy, to just be partnered and collabing with a project that's cross chain. And, you know, like we said, Sui is a very, popular layer one for this cycle. So to be building, you know, something catchy, something that has you know, some memeability to it, but also some utility and some use case to having it or being a part of your ecosystem. You know, I love what you guys are building with it. And, you know, with that, it leads me into let's get to know Frenchy better. And I know we've talked on space before, but you know, if you could give me a intro of where Frenchy came from, where, you know, prior to crypto or blockchain, what did you kind of jump into with investments, and what ended up making Sui stand out for you as you, from getting into crypto and Web3 to finding Sui when you did? What was that journey like?
Great question. So Frenchy is kind of a joke on my last name. So when I originally came to crypto, I've always been a creator. I had a background in art as well as running a clothing brand. I ran a clothing brand, which of course was hosted my last name. So my last name is French, but Frenchy himself is not French, right? So I decided to kind of just take on this moniker in a joking way. And that's kind of how I got into crypto. I was looking for something a little bit more modern. I wanted that creative aspect to it as well. And it kind of just ticked all my boxes. I loved the speed of the pace of crypto. I loved, you know, seeing other artists and NFT projects and the memes. So it had that exact creatability that I was looking for, which honestly was peak. It was peak. And that's kind of what drew me in. That being said, I started as an Ethereum maxi. I was big on Ethereum, trading a lot of NFTs and stuff along those lines. But eventually that kind of progressed into breaking out into other chains, right? After a certain point, you know, you learn so much about one chain that you start to look into other things. And through that, I kind of found Doge, Solana, Polygon, all types of other chains. And so, you know, when it came to actually creating something that was going to last a long time, longer than, you know, than me, longer than the team, that's really one of our main goals, is creating something that outlasts us, but people on chain and off chain can enjoy, right? So that's kind of how we ended up stumbling upon Sui. We were looking for the perfect network that we could kind of grow with, and Sui it gave us that ability, right? It's fast, it's not expensive, it's really scalable. And we felt like it was in the early days of Sui as well. I remember, you know, trading Sui memes, and Sui was at $1.44 or something like that. So just being able to see that, and obviously that wasn't my first experience with Sui, but I would say that's when we really kind of got to enjoy the chain and the ecosystem and see what was going on behind the curtain. And we decided, all right, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna jump in head first. We're gonna swim on the Sui chain, and it's an aquatic chain as well. It's very water themed. And that's one thing that I personally enjoy. I believe that water is luxury. And obviously living in America, like we kind of take it for granted, but in my experience in Web3, being able to connect with people from all types of different backgrounds, you kind of understand how people treat water differently. And, I think it also has the power to be whatever you make it, right? If you pour water into a pitcher, it becomes the pitcher, right? But if you pour it on the ground, it starts to move. And it can go any way, right? Like, and that's kind of the beauty of water, is that, you can really do all types of things with it. It has a lot of utility, a lot of capabilities, and the Sweet Chain just had a lot to offer. And we definitely want to take the opportunity to build on this chain early and kind of see how it progresses over time. So yeah, that's how we got to Sweet. And in terms of, how we decided on Snorkel, fish are, and it's, you could view fish in any way. When I say fish, people think of, you could think of different breeds of fish, right? You could think of red snappers, you could think of bass, depending on where you live. You could think about bluegills, carp, whatever. So we found that the fish was a great mascot, but we didn't just want it to be a fish, right? We wanted our mascot to be a little bit different, right? And we wanted the lore to be attached to the name. So that's how we kind of stumbled upon Snorkel and ended up with a fish with a snorkel. So yeah, it's been quite the journey so far.
Yeah, and for you guys coming from a moment where you had a platform that you launched on, with the token, and for that to dissolve as a company or as a platform, right? It stood out to me when you talked about that, and that you didn't let that bring you guys down, or that wasn't going to be something that stopped you guys, and that you did pivot. And you made that adjustment, you adapted to the surroundings and what was happening, and you guys really wanted to see this come to light, which, a lot of the times if something dissolves like that, or you see a project lose a platform they're on, they just disappear. Whatever they may have made during that time, they may start another project somewhere else or something, but a lot of people do not take that that initiative, or don't have that drive to say, no, this is like a conviction bag. I'm convicted that this, project is going to be what I think it's going to be. So I don't care how many times it goes, a platform or something was to go down. I'm making this is going to be what it's always going to be. And I love that you did. You really put a lot of love into this. I have a cousin. He's actually really big into fishing. He kayak fishes every week, doesn't miss. And, all of the fish, and, there's dolphins in here, there's Gyarados in here, if you like Pokemon looking type NFTs, there's so much versatility, or so much different style. This is one of my favorites, number 39 here, with the little Hawaiian shirt on, and he's got the the gold background. And, but I love that you guys even have zombie fish in here. You got undead type fish, and you got space fish, and I know you guys talk about it, and we've talked about it before on Spaces, but having branding or brandability and marketing capabilities is super important. And you've talked about it a couple times, but you're always saying, this isn't this is the only thing we want to do. We want to branch out into that IRL. We want to get into the real world markets as well, and somewhere in the fish or aquatic world. So, with that said, as you guys expand, what are some wishes, or some I don't want to call them pipe dreams, because it's not a pipe dream, but what are some of the ambitions that you would hope to obtain or get to with Snorkel as a brand? Because, as we've talked before, branding is very important to succeed in the Web2 and IRL realm.
100%. I would say this is the bulk of what our meetings are, is how to expand the IP, how to onboard people into the meme, right? Not just onboard people into crypto, but onboard people into the meme. And we've definitely been taking strides to do that, right? As you can see, we have the short form animation. Essentially, what we haven't done yet is really unpack the lore of Snorkel. We always talk about it in our meetings, how we have this unspoken lore behind the fish, right? We tease it a little bit in some of our memes, but in terms of the entire cohesive story, we have yet to show that. So that's one of our main focuses as we continue to grow, is really just to unpack the story of Snorkel, right? How did this fish acquire this snorkel? What does it allow him to do? Why is he different than any other fish? So those are questions that we intend to answer through not just the animation, but also through various products which we intend to release at a certain point. But in terms of also growing the brand, obviously we will do this through products and the animation, but we also want to create an experience that our community and our audience can really enjoy. And that's one thing we've really been focusing on as well, kind of in the back channels behind the scenes, is what can we create that people won't really expect? And how can we kind of raise the bar after that? So that's one thing we've really been striving for, is not just creating, those niche products that you would expect from a meme token, right? So like the apparel and stuff like that, but, other things that can actually, that speak to different audiences. I'm trying not to leak everything that we're building, but I feel like I have to.
Oh, you're good. I feel you on that. It's hard sometimes when you're not, in 5 years, it'll be easier because you can talk about what you've already done and what no one else can really keep up with to do. But I get it. When you're early, it's tough to want to give too much of the sauce that you're prepping away because you don't want someone else to make the sauce or no. But at the same time, I think, being vague, but in the sense of, you want to be in those real world markets. You want to be in those aquatic industries. You never know. I know you guys are talking about your own things, but see, I get to talk about what I think or what I would love to see you guys do because I don't know what you're doing. So I'm going to say, things like having NFTs. I mean, what's to say that Snorkel doesn't partner with SeaWorld? And all of a sudden, to get into SeaWorld, you have to use you have a VIP if you have your Snorkel NFT, and you scan that on your way in, and you get discounts inside, but you have to hold one of those snorkels. There's just so many different things that could happen, fishing licensing, things like that. I mean, if you guys were the first thing to go onto a blockchain of licensing for different things, or, there's just so much and there's so many options. You can go any of those directions. And even if someone else goes another direction, it doesn't matter. We're so early in this that even if other people try some of these things, it's really about who just sticks around and does it right. That's going to make it because the crypto and blockchain world is so early. But with that said, I love hearing that you guys are coming up with ideas, thinking about how to get into Web2 IRL on top of onboarding and having people facilitate your ecosystem or move through your ecosystem. I love it because, in a couple years from now, it's going to be worth it. I don't know what happened, but I just got super bad echo. Okay, I'll just cut that. I don't know what happened and echoed super hard. All right. And then what was it? Damn, I forgot what I was saying right before.
You said in a few years.
Oh yeah. All right, let's start there. So in a few years, when we come back and we're looking at what you guys have accomplished or what you guys are doing, there's going to be totally new goals or ambitions for you guys. And I look forward to seeing how this unfolds with all of the stuff we've been talking about during this bull run, this cycle. Because we know that a lot of retail and liquidity is going to enter back into the markets, Q4 into Q1, possibly to Q2. God, I'm hoping for an extended bull run. So, and I mean, like, I'm hoping that we see alt season into February, so that meme season is into like March, April, and NFTs and pushes us through next year. It'd be so cool. But with that said, and our hopes for the bull run, what is Snorkel's current objectives, and what do you guys want to get done, maybe pre Q4 here? I know we're coming up on it, but what do you guys want to accomplish through Q4 into that next fiscal year?
Gotcha. So our short-term plans are to release a few products. So we obviously have the NFT, we have the meme coin. We're really focused on building out our ecosystem. And obviously right now we've had a lot of support surrounding both of those crypto products, but we want to make sure that we build the ecosystem out in a way that those early adopters really get a bunch of wins along the way. So that's one thing that we are committed to currently. So obviously we'll add some utility surrounding the project and the collection. And those early adopters are going to have a lot of opportunities to really win along the way as we continue developing and scaling the project out completely. So obviously we have the meme coin. We want to reach about 10,000 traders, holders on the token. There's not a specific timeline on that, because obviously that, in order to do that, that requires partnerships and airdrops. So actually we intend to just build out the ecosystem. We also want to release a SWI-based product as well. That is something we have been working on. And that being said, that would be not a protocol, but more so just some sort of tool that, people can use on a daily basis. We have started work on that, but we don't have a specific timeline on that just yet. Right now, we're kind of just working on networking. Networking is very, very important. We want to make sure that we surround ourselves with projects and builders who, are similarly doing the things that we intend to do as well. So what else? So for the NFTs, so I don't know if I can say that. Oh man, it's Stoner. It's tough. It's tough because man, I'm sitting here and I'm staring at my notes and I'm just like, all right, I can talk about this. I can't talk about that. But I just want to data leak everything. I just want to say everything.
You guys are cooking, and I'm excited.
I'll give you a little bit.
Okay, a little alpha. Okay.
A little bit of alpha. So we're gonna create a scanner for SWI, but it's not gonna be just any old scanner. We want this scanner to be very modern. We want it to have a lot of capabilities as well. We want it to give you the full scope of meme coin projects. Because again, we were talking about kind of this cycle leading into, alt season and everything like that. Eventually the meme season is going to come back to SWI, and we definitely want to have one of the top products, one of the top tools when that meme coin season comes back around. And we also want to set up the infrastructure to be able to reward people who are using those tools. So outside of that, so we've got these beautiful explorers on screen. I think they're really, really cool. A lot of people always ask us why we decided to go the pixelated route. And I don't know, there's something nostalgic about that, right? They look like they're from almost a different era. And And I think, it kind of gives you that vibe of like a video game, right? Kind of how like Sega or something like that, back in the day, Nintendo 64, those kind of, nostalgic vibes that I feel like a lot of people in crypto kind of grew up on, even like Pokemon, right? So definitely in terms of using these explorers, there's a few routes that we can go with them. And we do intend to have, have the holders be able to use their explorers to actually explore at a certain point. So that is something else that we are working on behind the scenes. Not going to leak too much because I don't know how the team will feel about that. But I feel like it needed to be said.
That's bad. Well, you know what? The good news is you could wait probably 2 weeks before they have to worry about what's been said. So you got a couple weeks of leniency here from the recording to when they're going to hear it. And so that hopefully that'll help. They'll be like, damn, didn't you record this 2 weeks ago? Good thing we launched it since blah, blah, blah since then. No, right. It's exciting. I love the art as well. I enjoy the pixelated art. And here's one thing, I am burnt out on it overall. But there's a couple of projects I feel like that have done the nostalgia side properly to where it's still exciting to look at, or it does feel nostalgic, but it's fun, or you're like, oh, I really enjoy that. It makes me think of, insert, whatever Web2 industry or Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever it may be, gives you those vibes. And I think you guys did a good job at that. And I'm going to say this one's funny too. This little gift that you guys have with the little guy drinking water or drinking coffee. I think it's so hilarious, dude. The mouth closes prayer. It looks like he's literally taking a little sip off the top there. Yep. And I love the way you guys did it. And, I'm excited to see where you guys go. I have a lot of faith in what you guys are doing and building. I have a few Snorkel. What's crazy is this one over here with the 55 Sui price tag. I feel like I have almost a similar one, but he's got the white suit and the crown, but it's the same fish, and he has the snorkel on. And I'm like, damn, these things are cooking. I was like, I love seeing these up there with higher Sui tags, and it just shows this is early. Imagine what we're going to be looking at when people realize, oh shit, this is only 55 Sui at $3. Well, what happens when Sui is at, $20, $50, maybe $100 at some point in the next couple of years, or even over this cycle easily, in my opinion. I think we're looking at a $10 range for Suis if per token. It's going to be very interesting. And I think that's going to be awesome for NFT season, to see where, especially you guys being early on Sui, the people that are early on XRP. I have a couple of projects over there that NFTs that I hold, and I think that's great because a lot of these people are first to markets on these platforms. And like you said, I love Sui because of its quickness. It's cheap to use. The security side of their transactions is also very solid. The platform, the layer one, is just, it's so early, and there's going to be so much more implementation that can be done through the Sui system. And it's just like Sei. I'm bullish on Sei because it's going to be a financial institutional type blockchain. And that one does thrive on that decentralized but financial institutional type building. And Sui is one of those that, it has some gaming, it's got NFT, it's got security. So it's going to be multi-versatile, kind of like Solana is. And, but, obviously they're a little bit newer. So hopefully their technology and their movements will always be like that as well. So I look forward to seeing how the cycle goes. With that said, outside of Snorkel, what has your NFT journey been like? What was your first NFT that you ever bought?
That's a great question. So I believe the first NFT I bought was, I was in this old community where we had a bunch of projects. I was selling art. And the first NFT collection that I purchased I bought a few actually. It was taking me a while to kind of scrounge up some ETH. The gas fees were really, really high back in the day. So I ended up buying a few projects. I bought this one person's piece of art. She would do these kind of like mural looking things. And then I bought this project called Rug Insurance. They were lizards that kind of looked like Geico. And then there was another project called the Gent Lottery. What that essentially was you'd be able to purchase a roll of tickets, right? And within those tickets, you get some of the dice men, which were just little dice NFTs. You would have a lot of losing tickets. And then every once in a while, you would pull, a winning ticket, which could, you could redeem for $50 in Ethereum, $100 in Ethereum. And they had some higher prices as well that I never attained, but I thought it was a really, really cool aspect. One of my favorite communities, though, from that time, early days, I got into MetaFans, which I don't know if they're still called MetaFans, but I really liked that one. It was a sports-based project. What they did is if you owned a MetaFans, you would have the opportunity to get, tickets to games. And one of my favorite memories being in that community was, I obviously had my MetaFans. I was in the Discord. Discord was really, really big at the time. And they gave away these tickets kind of last minute to a Cubs game. And I remember reaching out to my partner at the time and telling her like, hey, we got these third row seats to the Cubs game. And she was like, oh, that's cool. And I was like, yeah, we're going to go in an hour. So I ended up picking her up and we went to the game, and it was a great time. And that was the first time that I really kind of that was like the first time that crypto had directly translated to kind of like IRL, where I was like, man, these communities are real. The utility is real. And I want to build something like that. I want to build something where the NFT isn't just an NFT, it's an access pass to, other amenities. So that's definitely something that we plan to do with Snorkel as well. But that was quite a time. There was a lot of fat rat mafias on my timeline. I was rocking with them heavy. A kid called Beast.
Oh, I remember
Space
that.
Raiders or Space Riders.
Yeah, Space Riders.
Yeah.
CryptoPunks.
It was
all that
CryptoPunks, 140 February. It was definitely a time, man. It was definitely a time. And again, like it just became like, for me, it became about learning more and more, right? I saw so many tokens kind of get launched with these teams behind them, these personalities. So it was kind of interesting kind of seeing everything unfold. And then, of course, leading into a really aggressive bear market after that. And kind of being left at that point where I'm like, hey, man, like I want to build in this space. I feel like that's what it really comes down to. It's awesome to take part in, buying NFTs and buying meme coins and showing up to spaces. But at a certain point, you get to, you kind of get to that crossroad where you're like, man, I want to do this too. I want to do this too. I want to build something on these chains that, is bigger than just me, that other people can enjoy. And that kind of started, the process of creating Snorkel and wanting to do it the right way. I believe we spent about 2 weeks workshopping different memes and different characters and just all types of directions that we could go. But we felt like the fish was the perfect fit. So
I'm watching some of them, some of your guys' TikToks in the background for people while they're listening. And it's fun because I think you guys are doing a really good job on all these little shorts and what they're doing. And, it's, there's so many markets. We've seen so many projects do it, right? We've seen Pudgy Penguins now. We're seeing Gary V Friends, and we're seeing these projects become businesses. But not only are they becoming businesses, they're becoming the new trading cards in the real world. They're becoming the new plushies in the real world. And that's something with the Snorkel. I think that you guys just have so much marketability in different worlds. This could be a cute thing for kids. It could be dog toys, dude. Like, you could have this in animal stores, and people's cats and dogs are playing with Snorkel. They're tagging you. You've got merchandise going out there. You've got SeaWorld hitting you up, and you've got, you're out here with boat charters and stuff, and there's just so much marketability, and I love it. And it's like the Salon of Dads. It's one of the things that I'm most bullish on in everything that we're building and that the team is putting together is, we are not just settling to be an NFT. We're not just settling to be a token. That's just the base of our ecosystem of what we're going to bring into the real world, which is, basically that we need to have that brandability. People like wearing Salon of Dads merchandise because it looks more, top end or high end. We have quality apparel, but then we have dirt bike riders that are sporting Salon of Dads gear now on the motocross scene. And, now the winter's coming up, and that's my world. So I'm going to be snowboarding every week, and all of those connections and that network, which you talked about earlier, networking is so important, real world and in Web3. And, we want riders. We want riders that are snowboarding. We want, we want people that are rocking whatever extreme sport they do, fighting brands, things like that. And it's so amazing because, we get to collab with you guys and be friends and collaborative partners in different aspects. But we have similar goals, but different areas of, markets to be tapping into. And so with that, that's one of the things I'm so excited for is, we're doing our markets, you guys have your markets, but we're going to see both projects and businesses become one of these new age companies. And that's what I think Web3 is birthing right now is tons of the new Nike, the new Adidas, the new Puma, the new Microsoft, I really, with Rogue on our team on the Deads, like code wise and building software, I'm like, maybe we have a room to be an IBM or something, but it just goes back to that Web3, blockchain technology, where we're building all of that stuff is going to be what creates these new, multi-billion-dollar companies, these massive enterprises, and that can grow. And the thing in Web3 that we're doing different is that we're doing it in a better light, right? We're not like that corporate America mindset. We all are passionate, have drive, and we might work a lot, but we enjoy what we're doing. And we're building something that, can change the world or change marketing, change communities, stuff like that. So I love doing this with you guys, and just happy to have you here today. What's your, I gotta ask you, we've been talking crypto and Snorkel the whole time. I know we got a mint party in about 30 minutes, so we'll cut this first podcast with you just a little shorter, but let's get to know Frenchy a little bit more. What's Frenchy's favorite meal? If you have, there's no limitation of where the food came from. You could have any meal in the entire world in front of you, snap of a finger. What's Frenchy eat for dinner?
You frame it in a way that I should pick something exotic, but I'm a simple guy. My favorite thing in the entire world is actually just a cheeseburger, right? With some garlic roll, some chopped onions. But if I had to pick, if it's, it's my final meal, I'd probably go for like a steak free. And that steak would have to be medium rare. And then it would probably have to have some different finishes, either on top of it or different sauces on the side. So some sort of garlic butter, a chimichurri, maybe even a mint sauce as well. So
Chimichurri.
definitely, yeah, chimichurri is delicious. I'm a big steak guy. I really enjoy steak. But one of my favorite cuisines actually is bibimbap. If you're familiar, it's the Korean rice bowl, the bulgogi, and then a bunch of vegetables, and then it has like a gochujang pepper sauce as well that goes on top. And man, I was actually craving that right before we hopped on this podcast, but that is one of my favorite things to eat. It just really excites my palate. I love the spices in it. I love every aspect. It's got egg in it. It's got bean sprout, cucumber, shredded carrot. So just really, really, really good.
Dude,
all around super delicious.
those are fire. I do. Bulgogi is one of my favorite meats. That marinade. If it's a good marinade, it is a good marinade. Okay, so I gotta ask another follow-up question now, because burgers. So here's the thing. You said you didn't want to pick something boring. In my opinion, burgers are very not boring, because I like gourmet burgers if I'm going to have a burger. So that leads me to ask you, if burgers are your favorite go-to on a regular basis, I know steak gets a little pricey too. I try to do sushi like that, and I'm always like, I can't afford to do this as much as I like having it. But with a burger, I got to ask two questions. One, I got to ask a lead up. Do you like gourmet burgers, or are you more of just a simple burger?
I like every kind of burger, but yeah, nothing beats a gourmet burger with like elevated ingredients.
So that leads me to the two questions. I just had to make sure you were really a burger guy. That was a test question. You had to say you like both. So with that, what is your favorite fast food burger of all time so far? Is there one that you would want to try you haven't? The second question is, for a gourmet burger, where have you had the best one?
Ooh, those are two good questions. So, man, those are good questions. I'm going to answer the gourmet one first, because there's only one right answer for me personally. Living in Chicago, Au Cheval has the best burgers. They have such good burgers. And it was kind of like that vibe I was telling you before. They got the house-made pickles. They got the garlic aioli. They got the finely chopped onions on there as well. So you can also get an egg on the burger as well. I'm not big on eggs on burgers, right? The sunny side up eggs, but I know that there's plenty of people that go crazy for them. But obviously they just have some delicious burgers. You can see, absolutely gorgeous burger. Good sized patty, not too thin, not too thick. You can see that garlic aioli poking out as well. Man, it's so good. I kind of want that.
Damn, bro. We're gonna have to cancel the space. I gotta go. I'm gonna get a ticket real quick. I gotta go to Chicago for a little bit.
Man, we'll go have some Au Cheval. Everyone's got to have it at least once in their life. They have this really bacon as well. This thick cut bacon. Man, it's so good. But that being said, my favorite fast food burger, that's tough. That is tough. It definitely depends on like how I'm feeling, right? Like,
Okay.
It definitely depends. But I really like Steak and Shake burgers. I will say they have what is it called?
They're good.
It's some sort of garlic burger I really, as you can see, I like garlic, I like aiolis, and I like burgers. All right.
Dude, I'm Italian. Garlic all day.
They have this garlic burger there that is just delicious. But yeah, I'm a big garlic guy. I'm big on onions.
Favorite onions? You like caramelized?
I like onions any type of way, man. Any type of way. I'm just a big onion guy. Just has so much flavor. Like when I have my tacos, I gotta have my tacos Mexican style: cilantro, onion, and then the meat. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I like to have my tacos.
And a hot salsa. I need something that burns my
100%.
my mouth so bad. The hotter it is for me, the better. One of my uncle-in-law, he makes a habanero salsa, and God, it's so hot, but it's one of my favorite things in the world. I put it on everything I eat.
My bad. It was kind of cutting out a little bit there. What were you saying?
Oh no, it's okay. I was just saying my uncle-in-law, he makes salsa habanero, and it's my favorite salsa. I put it on everything, but man, it'll blow you out pretty bad sometimes. Like it's so hot, you're like, I don't know why I ate this.
Sorry, I only caught a little bit of it. It's rugging. It's rugging a little bit.
Oh no,
A little bit. You said your buddy makes a salsa?
no, my uncle-in-law. Uncle-in-law? Yeah, I see your. It looks like your signal is flashing for me, so I don't know. Discord's rugging you. Maybe he said I can't hear a thing. Insert technical difficulties here. We'll enter that in there, but no, we'll get Frenchy back in a sec. Yeah, it's really good to talk about everything the Snorkel's doing. Excited to see their journey here. Excited to see what they're going to build. I'm also excited to try this Al Cheval place out in Chicago. Good God, those burgers looked amazing.
Right now. I can hear now. Sorry.
Okay. You're good, dude. You're good.
It was like a robot.
No, you're good. I was just like, I'll just talk till he gets back, and we'll start to wrap it up anyways. We're coming up almost on an hour here. I know we've got a space in just a little bit that we probably want to get ready for. So we'll get ready to wrap it up. And, I was just happy to talk about your burgers. Out of everything we talked about today, you made my mouth water showing me this Al Cheval place. So I'm excited for a burger day now in the future. But with that said, Frenchy, thanks for taking the time to share about Snorkel, what you guys are doing. I want to just invite you, to back anytime you want to be on, anytime you want to update the listeners and just be on the podcast. I'd love to have you. And with that, why don't you go ahead and sign us off and send us out. Let us know what people should be looking for in the near future. And then, just anything, parting words or wisdom you'd want to leave with anyone listening.
So, Crypto Stoner, it's been an absolute pleasure kicking it with you, talking food, crypto, bridging the gap between Web 2 and Web 3. I know that we from the Snorkel team are really, really glad to be building alongside you guys over with the Solana Deads. And I know that our future is going to be bright, swimming with you guys, rising with you guys. So I'm super duper excited for that. I'm looking forward to the next podcast as well, because by that time, we'll definitely have a lot more to talk about. We'll have some of these Snorkel products out, more of that lore unpacked. I definitely want to be able to talk to you more about the Snorkel lore and pick your brain about, what you think of everything. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Solana Deads and Snorkel Explorers minting out as well. I know that we are both just cooking, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm really excited to be cooking with you guys over the course of this bull cycle. So I think we both have a bright future ahead, and we'll definitely keep on connecting. And I'll see you soon. You guys, this is not the last you guys have seen of Snorkel Frenchy. So we'll definitely swim again on the podcast. And you guys already know what it is. Go grab your Snorkel Explorers. Go grab your Solana Deads. Mint now, mint often. Yeah,
mint now, mint often. One of the greatest things that I think all of us have come up with in the NFT world. It's exciting. We look forward to having you on future podcasts. And like I said, Solana Deads are happy to be partnered with Snorkel and hanging out with you guys. And yeah, I look forward to where we're talking about the next time we're on. So I will see you soon, Frenchy. Thank you again. And signing off for now. We'll see you guys on the next podcast.
We rise with the moon in the night sky, lighting up like a tune. From the tomb to the block, yeah, we making that boom. Ain't no fear in the dark, only love in the room.